Imagine waking up tomorrow, grabbing your phone, and finding that your newsfeed knows you better than your best friend does. It shows you exactly what you care about, in the format you prefer, without you having to search for it. That future is closer than you think. The BBC just dropped some major news about AI that could completely transform how we all consume information. And trust me, this isn't just another tech update. It's about to get wild. Hey, welcome back to AI Odyssey, where we navigate the evolving AI landscape together. Today, we're diving into something that affects literally everyone who consumes news, which is, well, all of us. The BBC, one of the world's largest and most respected news organizations, just announced they're creating an entire department dedicated to AI, personalization, and reaching younger audiences. But before we unpack why this is such a big deal, let's get everyone on the same page. Think about how you consumed news 10 years ago versus today. For many of us, we've gone from watching scheduled TV broadcasts to scrolling TikTok for updates. The fundamental way information reaches us has been completely flipped on its head. Traditional media is low-key panicking, and for good reason. So what exactly is the BBC doing? Their chief executive, Deborah Turness, announced the creation of a new department called BBC News Growth, Innovation and AI. This isn't just some side project. It's a major structural change designed to combat what she calls news avoidance and respond to how people actually consume content in 2025. The BBC plans to use AI to curate personalized news experiences, basically creating a custom news feed based on your previous consumption habits. Imagine if Spotify Wrapped understood your taste in current events. That's what they're going for. This AI system will work specifically to target under 25s, who are consuming almost all their news on smartphones and platforms like TikTok. It's about meeting younger audiences where they are, not where traditional news wants them to be. No cap, this is the BBC basically saying, we understood the assignment, and adapting to survive. Here's where it gets really interesting though. The BBC is trying to balance this AI innovation while maintaining journalistic integrity. Their own research found that current AI assistants create distortions and factual inaccuracies when reporting news. So they're promising their AI implementation will align with their public service values and not undermine audience trust. What most people overlook is how massive this shift is for an institution like the BBC. This would be like if your grandparents suddenly started creating fire TikToks. It's that level of institutional change. So what does this mean for you and the future of news? Let's break it down. First, personalized news experiences could create incredible convenience. Imagine waking up to a perfectly curated feed that knows you're interested in climate science, basketball highlights, and tech news, but not celebrity gossip. That hits different compared to the one-size-fits-all approach of traditional news. But there's a flip side. Personalization creates filter bubbles. If your AI-curated feed only shows you what you already like and agree with, you might miss important perspectives and challenging viewpoints. Democracy literally depends on a shared reality and understanding of facts. What if news organizations all adopt this approach? Your conservative friend and your progressive friend might be consuming entirely different versions of reality, making it even harder to have productive conversations about important issues. That's straight up concerning. And here's another wild thought. What happens when every news source is fighting for your attention using AI to hook you? We might see increasingly sensationalized or emotionally manipulative content designed to keep you engaged. The BBC app has already overtaken Apple News as the #1 UK news app, despite Apple News being pre-installed on every iPhone. The competition is getting heated. Media analysts have been warning about these shifts for years. A recent Reuters Institute digital news report found that younger audiences increasingly avoid traditional news formats, with 40% of Gen Z primarily getting news from social media. Dr. Rasmus Kleis-Nielsen, director of the Reuters Institute, has explained that news organizations face a do-or-die moment where they must adapt to mobile-first, algorithm-driven consumption or risk becoming irrelevant. The challenge for organizations like the BBC is balancing innovation with their core journalistic mission. As media scholar Emily Bell from Columbia University points out, when news organizations hand significant control to algorithms, they're also shifting their editorial power. The question is whether they're maintaining editorial oversight or surrendering it to technology. Here's my take. We're witnessing a fundamental reinvention of how information flows through society. News isn't just changing its delivery method, it's changing its entire relationship with audiences. I think the BBC's approach could actually become the model for how trusted news sources navigate this landscape. By developing their own AI systems rather than relying on platforms like Facebook or TikTok, they maintain control over their journalistic standards. But I'm concerned about what happens to shared experiences. When everyone watched the same evening news, we had common reference points. In a hyper-personalized world, we might lose that cultural cohesion. That's why I believe the most successful news organizations will be those that balance personalization with creating moments of collective attention around truly important stories. The revolution happening at the BBC isn't just about technology, it's about redefining what news even means in the 21st century. So what do you think? Would you trust an AI to curate your news? What stories would you want prioritized in your feed? And how can we maintain a shared understanding of facts in an increasingly personalized media landscape? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you're enjoying this exploration of how AI is reshaping our world, hit that subscribe button and notification bell to join our journey. This is AI Odyssey, exploring tomorrow's intelligence today.